So apparently, what is being suggested is, what if one day everything that you have ever known, everything that you've ever thought that was real is not real, but you're quite confused because it does feel real, like an unquestionable reality. Since the you that seems to perceive reality is a big question mark that cannot be answered. It's like there will never be a you, there'll never be a me, to find out that there was never been a me, because there was no me in the first place. Yes, it's recording, sorry. So everything that you think you have ever known is unknown, although it feels like it's known. Everything that the apparent character you see is a trick of the eye. Like you see a billion colors, but there are really no colors. But all you see are colors, but colors are an illusion. So what you think is true is also untrue, but it feels true. It's like all the rainbows that you have seen are colorless. To top it off, everyone that you've ever known is unknown. Everything that you have ever felt is unreal, but it feels real. Like even the universe that you think is absolutely real is not real. The time that you held on to, all those precious moments, is just an appearance of timelessness. It's like the curse of Santa Claus that was previously believed as absolutely real as a kid. Once it's seen as a story, there seems to be like a domino effect and it all falls down, but it's often ignored. And there's a seeing of timelessness, there's a feeling of timelessness, but there's a belief in time. There's a blind fate that happens sometimes, but the fate is held on to. There are truths that are absolutely true to you, but it's a plot hole. But it's never questioned. It's never questioned. There's so many things that are apparently are not real, but are perceived as real because the perceiver thinks it's real and it goes in this circle, right? But the perceiver is not real, but it feels real. And it establishes this established truths, beliefs, ideas that are held onto, and it recycles it. It's just a cyclical whirlpool that keeps on going and going and going. So again, what's being suggested is, what if one day, there's no one day, everything that you've ever known that is true is false? But you're convinced, completely convinced that it's true because you can swear that, yeah, you know what, that happened. Yeah, I saw it yesterday. I saw a child being born. I see colors. I see billions of colors, but there are no colors. It's just different wavelengths of an illusion of this fantastical appearance of what is. There are not even any sounds. There's not even a reality, but there's a perceived reality. It's neither this or that. It's not about arriving at something and figuring it out. And that seems to happen to a lot of what non-duality is trying to, it's just what's happening. There's nothing wrong or right about that. When there is, I've seen the color. The absolute color is blue. And people are like, well, you know what? I've also seen blue, but there's no blue. There's no black, there's no blue, there's no red, there's no colors. It's just an illusion. It's just a trick of the eye. Like this is empty space, silence speaking, but there is this a level of certainty. And you will see the most enlightened arguments on Facebook sometimes about what they think is true, what is held onto as my truth. But again, kind of like what we're talking about earlier, they're just words. Words that are convinced that it's real. And these words are just swirling like colors. There's like a million billion words out there on trying to describe what is, but it can never capture what is because there are no words, like there are no colors. So how is this being communicated when there's no words, there's nothing at all? Well, this is not even being communicated at all. It's just this illusion. It's just this appearance. Let me break the fourth wall. There's nothing happening here. There's no you that's listening to this, but it feels like there's a you that's listening to this. It feels like, but what is feels like? What is this convincing idea that there is an absolute, that there is a self, that there is a source, that there is a truth, that there is a higher, that there is a lower, that there are levels, that there are whatever is being expressed. Is like seeing colors when there are no colors. It's like hearing words when this is all really just silence, or experiencing a localized universe when there's no universe. It's like waking up from a nightmare and then shaking your head. Whew, that didn't happen. Usually what happens when there is this kind of like, everything that you've ever known is not true, is when there is a glimpse. It could be a relief. It could be a lot of problems that's weighing you down, that's seen as like it's just ephemeral, something that is transitory. It's just an appearance, and then they go. Or it could be a lot of grief. It could be a grief about the relationships, or even the pedestals that you put on others, yours or others' positions. A grieving of positions of something that was previously held, something that was held so dear to my heart, or something that is, this is my truth, or this is something that I believe in. And that conviction is what keeps and maintains the apparent reality of a character called a you. But when that is really flimsy, when that's just kind of like really transparently, like when that is just like fruit flies, as I mentioned before, that appears here and there, and then it's like a trick of the eye, like seeing, like your 4K, 8K TV with 8 billion colors, when really there are no colors. So there could be hooray, or there could be a burning down the house. I don't know, it's kind of like watching everything burn down. Oh, there goes my belief. Oh, there goes my truth. Oh, there goes my relationships. Oh, there goes my fate. Oh, there goes not my hope. And one of the biggest things that is very sacred to a lot is, there is the source. There is the self. There is the I am. So when you see, or when you watch everything burn down, including you burning down, there is this seeming unconditional nothing. It's all really for nothing. And it's really hard to accept, because everything that you have ever known is seemingly kind of like a movement. It's a motion. It's a dynamic. When everything is just really stillness, appearing as this movement, the dynamic from here to there, my journey, my path, my seeking, my understanding, my knowing. When everything that you've ever known is seen as just this unknown that no one has ever known, because again, there'll never be a me that will know, because there was never been a me. So how do you know a me when there's no me? It just goes into the cyclical pattern. It's a nice dream, or it's a nightmare full of certainties. And the certainties is what holds this continuity, this idea that something is happening, is that there was a pre and there's a post. But it seemingly is a distraction of what is being presented, what is being expressed as this apparent infiniteness, this wholeness, this completeness, that everything is allowed to appear like an idea of before, an idea of after, ideas that are kind of like bubbles, webs of stories that keeps this captured audience, which is you. The question mark. The you that will never find out that there was never been a you, because there was never been a you in the first place. And it's quite a conundrum, isn't it? It's like, how do you lose someone that was never there? How do you know something that's unknown? How do you figure out something that cannot be figured out? So that seems to be the apparent stress, the frustration of seeking something that is already is, or seeking something that is never is what you think it is. Because what thinking is just another illusion. Thinking is just like colors. There's a billion different thoughts about something, different ideas about something, but there are no colors, and there are really no thinking happening. It's just an appearance. It's like crashing into this wowness of this illusion and trying to get out of this illusion, but the illusion is just an illusion. There's no getting in and out of the illusion because it's just an illusion. It's like madness, but it's also sanity at the same time. When it seemed that there's no way out because there was no way in, nothing even started, so nothing will ever end. There's this illusory watching, sitting back and watching everything burn down and putting your hands behind it. Okay, everything goes. So if you have any questions, let's burn them all down. If you would like